Hello, everybody out there. Another live chat with me, Kirsten, and the lovely Kim Arnold from the UK. Hello,
Hello.
Kim.
Hello. Thank you for having me on.
Yes, I mean, we already talked together once. Oh, I just see I need to change a tiny little thing here. So now it's good. Marketing, you know. I don't know when we talked last time. I think it's about 2 years ago. Just when Corona started, basically. And now again, we meet up at the Tarot conference in live. No, wait. Last year, there was already a live Tarot conference, right?
Yes. So last year it was a smaller event purely because a lot of people were still nervous about attending events and coming into central London, getting on the tube and the buses. So I deliberately made it a much smaller event, limited it to 50 people. But then it was the first time that we did bring in a live stream. So that was really nerve-wracking, you know. So we had a team there who were filming the event live. It gave the people opportunity from around the world to come in and watch the live stream or to watch it back later. And obviously, because of time zones, it was something that it sort of catered for everybody.
Yeah, and that's why I thought we need to talk today because of the live stream. Perhaps before we start talking about the live stream, I rushed in. Perhaps tell us, what is the Tarot Conference UK or the UK Tarot Conference?
Okay. So 19 years ago, I hosted the very first UK Tarot Conference. 20 years ago, I was having a lot of issues with the church, and it's a big story about the intimidation and the bullying and etc., to a point where I had a shop at the time selling tarot cards. And my husband said to me, well, you either shut your shop or you do something big. And I looked around for a tarot event, just specifically tarot. There was lots of sort of psychic fairs and that sort of thing, but not a tarot event. And I couldn't find one. So I decided that I would start the UK Tarot Conference, which was going to be just a one-off event. And so I launched within a year, the first event happened, and there was only about maybe 35 people there. I didn't really have a very big network. I couldn't really we didn't have social media then like we do now. So to get even that many people was amazing. I also didn't know many speakers, but I had, before this, had a promotional company where I used to promote New Age book authors. So I had a little bit of an in with certain publishing houses. And the first conference happened and it was lovely. And I thought, well, that's good. I've done that now and I'll go away and do something else. And then word started to get around and people were emailing me and saying, when's the next one? And I went, oh, okay, well, I'll do another one then. So number 2 happened, and slowly the numbers got bigger, but not by much. You know, there was like 30, 40 people. And if I had 50 people with speakers, that was amazing. And here we are 19 years later, probably one of the most well-known tarot conferences in the world. And it continues to thrive. And, you know, in the early days, Kirsten, I used to approach speakers and I would be really frightened to approach them. I'd be really nervous about asking them to speak. And now speakers come to me and say, can I speak? So now I have to, it's completely changed. But,
Yeah.
you know, sorry, just 19 years later, it's been a real journey.
Yeah, and you have done such a great thing with the Tarot conference. I mean, I joined many times. I already was allowed to be speaker 2 times, I think. And it's not only the conference, the speakers, which is really interesting for us here on the continent, because London, well, still is quite accessible.
Yes.
But you always, I think not this year, I'm not sure, we're going to talk about the program in a minute, but you usually bring somebody from the States over, which we really would like to meet. You had Mary Kay Greer, Bennabel Wen, Rachel Pollack, other numbers. I don't want to miss out on anybody, but many people. And also the people from England. And there's a lovely tarot scene in England, which is, of course, interesting for us here in Germany because we don't have such a conference here. And I thought, since traveling might be still a bit difficult for people, but perhaps it's a good start for people out there here in Germany to start with watching live online or even in person. But you just told me the conference is sold out, right?
The conference is sold out this year, and again, still due to COVID and still due to a little bit of nervousness around big crowds. So this year I've limited the numbers to 78. Those 78 seats are sold. However, there's a few people holding seats on deposits that haven't come back. So there may be a few seats still available in person, but at the moment we are technically we are full.
78 places.
Yes, of course.
Yes, I have one of them. I'm very happy about this.
Yes.
And I just see Bea is with us as well. Our now she is my it's Stellvertreter. I just missed it. I'm listening messages. So I am the head of the association. Bea is the second one now, and she will be there as well if everything works out fine. So we are one of the 78. And what I was going to say, it's not only that you bring the speakers, but there's always a very, very nice atmosphere at the conference. It's really like meeting family when you go there, and people are very nice with one another.
They really are.
You have this great co-op with Atlantis store. There's always good stuff to be bought there. There are many other stalls. Of course, the association is going to have another stall again.
Yes.
I'm very happy about.
Yes.
There's a raffle, there's a bursary. So it's really something interesting. But can people actually, when they're not in person there, take part in the raffle or the bursary?
Not the raffle. The bursary, I am thinking this year to announce some of the the bursary is always something very special. It's like an auction, really. So we have an item and people start to bid on that. And I think just to make it clear that the bursary money is always set aside for people that maybe would like to come to the conference but can't afford to come. So it helps them with a ticket or whatever. And the bursary is also available within the virtual side as well, because when I first started the conference, one of my big aims was that no one would not be able to come because they couldn't afford it. And we wanted to make a way to provide financial support for people to come. What's interesting with the bursary is the last 2 years, it has become what we would call here a hardship fund. So where there have been people that we know in our community that have really struggled, nothing to do with tarot, but have really struggled, then the bursary has been able to, we've dipped into the bursary to send them a little bit of money to help them through some very difficult times. So the bursary is a huge part of the UK Tarot Conference and the good that it does. But so basically we have some very unusual and unique items in the bursary, and all year I'm panicking that I'm never going to find that thing again that's going to really blow everyone's mind. But people are so incredibly generous in donating some very, very rare and special items, and it just makes my heart sing when they do that. And I was just talking to you just very briefly, Kirsten, about I do know a fine art artist who is just creating something for me for the bursary, and he's making this completely unique. I'm just going to give you a little show of
yes, please.
something that
I
he
really
has.
loved it.
So this is just sort of the practice run, and it's his interpretation of the sun, bearing in mind that he knows nothing about tarot. So I asked him to paint the sun, and what he's tried to do here is to incorporate earth, air, fire, and water. The figure here represents a new day dawning, And he's just explained the whole. I've literally just picked this up about 30 minutes ago, and he's going to build on this now and produce something very special for the bursary. And so this will be auctioned at the conference, and I will put it on the UK Tarot Conference Facebook page, and people can bid. I'll find a way to make that happen. I think that's a good idea.
So now you have to, of course, to explain people why you asked him to paint the sun for this bursary.
Okay, because we're 19 years, and of course, card 19 is the sun. And for the last probably 9 years, I didn't used to do this in the beginning, but now I tend to associate a tarot card with the year of the conference. So although the speakers tend to blend that card into their workshop or into their talk, it's not all about the sun, but it gives you an insight and a different perspective into that card through different dynamics of the workshops. So that's basically where that came from.
So what will you do once you're in the year 23?
Well, it's funny you should say that, because I'm already thinking. So when we get to the end of the major arcana, we're going to go. I never did the fall. Obviously, the
okay, so 24.
Yeah, so we're going to go back to the fall, and then maybe we'll start working on the suits. Then maybe we'll start doing something like that. I've already got ideas bubbling ready, but I think I'm going to be a really old lady by the time we get through the suits. I'll be.
Well, you have family; they can take on the business.
Yes. But,
no, but I'm sure once it's established like this, there will other people who will try to help you organize it, even when you're 85, which is still some way to go, by the way.
Yes. No, definitely. So plans are afoot already for the future.
Yes, very, very good. So I think anybody who doesn't know the conference by now will have an image of the conference. It's every year there is some special card being in the foreground, but there's other stuff. There's speakers, there is workshops, there is the possibility to connect to people you see usually on Instagram. Stephen Bright is always there. Andrea Asti probably will be there as well, I take it. And,
yes, he will, yes.
Loads of people who have been here in the chat, but also are very influential by now in the world of Instagram and Facebook, and might be really interesting for everybody either to join online or to go there the year after in 2023, if you can manage then. Perhaps it's easier than to go there. And do you have already the dates for 2023? Or
no, it's usually the second weekend of October. So this year we've just sneaked in because it's the 7th and the 8th. So maybe next year will be maybe the same, or the week after. But those dates will be announced at the conference this year. It's also on the availability of the venue, but we might be changing venues next year. I am looking at some other places. So but second weekend in October is the weekend I always aim for.
Exactly. And this year the conference is interestingly always on a Friday and a Saturday, not on a Sunday, and that is the 7th and 8th of October.
And I just want to say that it was always very deliberate that we didn't have the conference on a Sunday, because I find, when you've got quite intensive workshops, people need to, most people travel into London. Not many people live in central London. So most people travel. And that day, just to go home, unpack your bags and just, really embrace everything that's happened. So we have a pre-conference dinner on Thursday evening. That's a separate event. And then all day Friday, we go late into the night on Friday, and then on Saturday, of course.
Yeah, I'm just showing a few people who have said something, so people can see the comments later as well. I think it's. I really like this as well, because on Saturday and Sunday, then I can go shopping in London.
Yes, of course. Yes.
which is always a nice thing. I'm now going to try and show the program to people.
Okay.
We practiced this before, and there was a glitch with my internet, but people who have been watching me know that I have this glitch. I see what's going to happen. And there it is. So this is the page of the Tarot conference where you can look at the program, no problem. And I also put this program in the show notes, and also the link where you can order tickets if you want to. So Kim, what does the ticket cost, and what does it entail if you go for the light online version?
Okay, so it's £120, and it's for the 2 days, Friday and Saturday. Obviously, you're going to get all the handouts will be sent to you, but also we don't have a cutoff point. Like a lot of people that offer the program after that, it's like 14 days viewing or 21. Once you have the program, or once you have the virtual ticket, you have that forever and a day. You can come back and revisit that whenever you want. We're running at the moment a competition to create a spread which involves the sun card. And that's open to anyone, virtual and in-person people. In fact, anyone, even if you're not coming, you can still send a spread. And if you win the competition, and we use the spread as the opening of the conference on the Friday morning, if you're coming to the conference, you'll win a prize. If you're not coming to the conference, then we will offer you a free virtual ticket. So that's, I think we pull that in on the first week of September. That's all again on the everything's on the Facebook page, the UK Tarot Conference Group Facebook page.
Yeah, who hasn't joined the Facebook group of the Tarot conference really should do this. It's very nice and chatty, and lots of information also apart from the conference about Tarot. And it's a nice place to reconnect once you have met people at the conference. So you have a new logo, or is this already, have you had done?
No, it's a new logo. It was designed for me by Chris Butler, who spoke last year. And again, he's incorporating the earth, air, and fire element, the fire of the sun, the air of the clouds, the earth. I'm not quite sure where that came from the letters, I think. Earth, air, fire, sun, earth, air, fire, water.
It's really lovely. He is a great artist. And
yeah, he is.
As far as I know, he's going to speak again today in October.
he's doing the lunchtime slot. Just a 30-minute lunchtime workshop, and he's speaking on, it's a sun spread. I think I've got the thing here.
Well, I have the speakers now here, so people can look. I really like that I'm here as well, next to Bennabel Wen. You really made great.
Oh yes, look at you. Yes.
Yes. That was the last conference I visited in 2018. No, I was there in 2019 as well.
Yeah, you was, yes.
So let's look who the first speaker is. That's David Rankin. Do I pronounce this correctly?
Yeah, David Rankin. He's quite new to me, but he was highly recommended by Geraldine at Atlantis Bookshop. He's a real expert on the Kabbalah, the Tree of Life. Apparently he's a brilliant speaker, and I have spoken to him. His workshop's going to be very interactive. He created a game, in fact he says that here, he created a game many decades ago, which we're going to be, I'm going to use the word playing loosely, but we're going to be playing at the conference, as well as going through the Tree of Life.
I'm really into the Tree of Life. It's going to be more and more fashionable again as well. Usually you had David Wells for this, but it's nice to have somebody else also talking about this. I'm very curious. Okay, Tree of Life, which is also befitting for the sun, I think. It's a holistic concept.
Yes.
Then you have Rashunda Trumbull, and
Yes.
Rashunda is well known in the influencer scene by now. She is a
Mhm.
member of the German Tarot Association as well.
Okay.
Which is really
Yeah.
nice of her. So, what is Rashunda going to do?
Well, Rashunda is she's a practicing Buddhist, and she's going to bring some of that practice into the Sun card and into the workshop. And she talks about when she lost a little bit of passion for tarot, but then felt lost without it, but really wasn't feeling that passionate, to use it, and how she got that passion back and how her practice changed. And she's going to show us techniques to stay enthused, I feel like, with the tarot, how we're going to change our attitude towards the tarot and how we can improve our practice. I'm really looking. Rash is a very good friend of mine, and the last time I was in Switzerland, she came all the way to the airport just to meet me for a coffee, which was really lovely. So I can't wait to see her in London.
She's lovely. I met her when we were in Switzerland with you as well, just for a quick chat. She's great. I really like her a lot. And Liz Dean is well established at the Tarot conference. It's great that she's there as well. She's talking, as far as I can see, about numerology.
Yeah, Liz has just launched a new book, Tarot by Numbers. I think it just came out maybe a month or so ago. And she touched on this subject when we did the Esoterical Live Day a couple of years ago, right in the middle of COVID. And do you know what, Kirsten? She blew me away with some of the tips that she gave, things that when she said it, you think, God, that really makes sense, but you would never think of that. I was just blown away by her work. And it was 15 minutes. Now we've got an hour and a half with Liz, and I think that it's going to be phenomenal. The information of how we use tarot with the numbers, and not even necessarily from a numerological sense, just how the numbers relate to so many things in tarot. That I was amazed by what she shared.
And this is again something which I like about the conference. You say 1 hour and a half. If there was somebody just talking at you for 1 hour and a half, you would have a headache.
Oh, right. Yeah,
but yes. It's always you encourage your speakers to do interactive work. So there are always the cards on the table. People are discussing and doing readings, and this is what I really appreciate very much about this conference as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think the other thing is that the people that join us online, are encouraged to, put their information in the chat to share, and it will be shared in the conference room.
Yeah.
So that's really important.
Yeah, I'm really curious about this because we want to go hybrid as well, but I don't know how this will work out, so I can see how it works with you. I'm very interested in this. So Juliet Shaman Burke.
I love Juliet. So
Juliet, sorry.
Following on from the moon, she's going to take us into the sun. And of course, one of Juliet's great strengths is the myths, the mythology, again, and the astrology. A very, very, very clever lady. And she's such an eloquent speaker. She is so... I could listen to her speak for hours, but she will obviously be bringing in workshops for us, workshop exercises for us to follow. She's going to be excellent.
Yeah. I'm not sure whether I have heard her, but I, of course, know her name. And I think she also published some books, right?
Yeah, but she did the Mythic Tarot with Liz.
Of course.
Green. Yes.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Then of course. Yeah. Now I know.
And the Shaman Burke, Tarot as well.
Yeah. So I need to.
Sorry, the Caselli Tarot.
Yeah. So I need to bring my Liz Green deck. I always call it the Liz Green deck, but I should call it differently. I don't know Kelly L. French at all.
Okay, well, Kelly is an American, and she's quite well known in the Lenormand genre, as well as tarot, of course. And she sent me the information about her workshop, and it was almost a page long. I mean, she really put a lot of effort and thought into what she's going to speak about. And she's going to be the final speaker because she said the sun also sets. So as we close the conference with the sun also sets, she's going to take us through different ways of closing ourselves down, of accepting the openings and the closing of the rising and the downward way. Oh, that's silly English. Sorry, I'm not speaking very good English. But she's talking about the rising sun, when the sun sets, and when the sun rises. There we go. We got it. And it sounds fascinating. She's a very, very good speaker. And, she has actually been on the tarot circuit for quite some time. She's probably more well known in America than she is here. But the Lenormand side as well, I believe she's just launched a new deck of Lenormand, and she's very well worth seeking.
Sounds really interesting. And I actually, I never think about a setting sun when I think of the sun in tarot. Interesting idea. If I look at the logo of your conference up here, with the sun, this could be a sunset or a sunrise. Yeah, interesting.
Yes, absolutely.
I like this thought. Great. Nigel Jackson, I don't know either.
Nigel Jackson is he's a real historian of tarot. He also did the Rose Tarot, which is a beautiful deck. I think it was just launched last year with Llewellyn. But the Rose Tarot, look it up. It's absolutely beautiful. He is an artist and a writer. He's what can I say? He's an incredibly clever man. He's a scholar of tarot and a scholar of the history. And I think that Nigel knows stuff that I think will, for some of us, might be a little bit over our heads. But he's going to pitch this workshop, so that we can all, he's doing some interactive stuff with us as well. I think he's going to be really interesting. He very, 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 very rarely speaks at any public event. So in fact, Kathleen Matthews said to me, I cannot believe that you've got Nigel Jackson speaking at your conference. So that is praise indeed. But we will be Zooming Nigel in. He won't be there live in person.
Okay.
But he will be on the big screen. And so that's something new for us as well.
And he has already his sunglasses on.
Yes, it's sunny. I didn't think of that. It's too sunny.
I really like this. Sophie, you have interesting names here. Sophie McKay-Knight.
Yes. So Sophie did the painted tarot and the painted rune deck. She's a lovely artist. She lives in Scotland. She's very, very creative in everything that she does. And she's going to take us through some drawing exercises, which we all laughed about because I can't draw a matchstick man without it looking like. But so we've had a real giggle about this one. But I think it's going to be very special, actually. I think it's going to be very special.
So this is the creative inner child developing of the sun with Sophie.
Yes.
And you have thousands of speakers. Wow. Susan.
It's Susan. It is Susan Blair Hunt.
I don't know her either.
Okay, so you need to Google Susan. She is an astrologer. She's an American astrologer. Again, she's very well known, probably more in America than in Europe. She spoke at my conference about 10 years ago, and she's very, very knowledgeable. She does a weekly astrology. It might even be a daily one, but Google her. She does a free offering of astrology readings. She's a lovely, lovely lady. You just get this sense of someone who's really gentle but knowledgeable and humble in her knowledge. She's doing the lunchtime workshop. So again, it's just a short workshop, and she'll be amazing.
I really like how she fades into this blue on the picture.
Yes,
quite a nice pic.
Yes.
Betty Jane Ware, I know her. Obviously, she has been at almost all conferences
Yeah,
I
she
can
has.
remember.
So Betty Jane is from Canada,
Yeah.
and she's going to be leading a meditation. Again, this is a lunch. We're on the lunchtime workshops now. Again, a
Okay.
short 20, 30 minutes of workshop. So Susan, Betty Jane, and Chris are all lunchtime workshops. And the lunchtime workshops is go to them, don't go to them. Whereas the conference is quite structured, but the lunchtime workshops, some people want, to savor every moment of tarot. Some people just want to go and get lunch, and
Yeah.
some people want to shop in Kensington High Street. It's like whatever. So the lunchtime workshops are just nice, sort of quick workshops, which you can embrace if you choose to.
Yeah.
But Betty Jane will be taking us on a meditation using the tarot cards. It looks really good.
So we have enough space for 3 lunchtime workshops?
Yeah, so on the Friday, let me just double check this. So Friday, Betty Jane is doing the workshop, and on the Saturday, there's 2 half-an-hour workshops running at different times, but very close together. So, but not everyone wants to do two on a lunchtime.
So the third one then is Chris Butler.
Yeah, Chris. So there's 2 on the Saturday, which is Susan and Chris, and he's doing a solar well-being map, which looks really made. So this is like a whole lunchtime, or a whole 30 minutes of a spread, of a tarot spread.
Yeah, that's really interesting. I like Chris a lot. I already had an interview with him. He's a really gentle guy.
Yeah,
I'm looking forward to meet him in person, really. And Geraldine, the owner of Atlantis Bookshop, is also speaking. Well, she always does some kind of speaking. Yeah.
Well, Friday evening, when we have dinner Friday evening, and then we have Geraldine, because the Atlantis Bookshop celebrated 100 years this year.
Wow.
And it's very, very iconic. Everybody knows the Atlantis Bookshop in London.
Yeah.
And the history that goes with that, people like Crowley and, A. Waite, they all trod the floorboards of Atlantis Bookshop. So it will just be like 20 minutes, half an hour of Geraldine just taking us through the history of the day the shop door opened to present day, and the famous people that have been through there. So Friday evening, as you know, is a very casual evening. We're going to have dinner, and then people can buy drinks from the bar, and we can watch Geraldine do her talk. And then, just as you've scrolled up a little bit on there, Ari Wisner, he's a Hay House author. He's quite new to publishing, but I was sent his deck called the Traditionellen Light Tarot, and I was blown away by it. And it's the first tarot deck ever to not have any plastic within the deck, not in the packaging, not in the cards. And I just felt, as a modern day tarot deck, this is the way that we should all be going. And the cards are beautiful to shuffle. They're not clumsy just because they don't have that plastic element. They're beautiful to shuffle. And I reached out to Ari and I said to him that I had his deck. I was doing a review on it, and I just loved them. And we sort of became buddies over Instagram. And I asked him, he lives in London, funnily enough. So I've asked him to come by. He's going to come by Friday evening. So when we have that social, remember that social bit that we have in the other room, he will be there with his tarot decks, just talking about his journey. He created this deck through COVID and just got all the inspiration from being locked down, but also being, he's quite openly gay, and what, his journey, and the tarot cards reflect that. But they're very simple, the cards. I should have bought the deck here. They're very simple, but they are very powerful cards. So, and he's a lovely guy. So yeah, he'll be there Friday evening for the casual chat about the Transient Light.
Is the deck already out?
Yes, the deck is already out. Yes.
Okay, so I have to look this up.
Yeah, but if you buy it at the conference, then Ari can sign it. So
yeah, that's a good idea. I think that's about the program, right?
Yeah, that's it. That's the program. Yes, that's it.
So I can close this again. I'm really impressed. I have to confess that I didn't look at the program before so closely because I go there whenever. What is this you're showing there?
This is the program. Yes,
Yeah.
this is the program.
And I think you can download as well as a PDF
Yes, you can.
on
Yes.
the page. Yeah, and it's full of great people again. I'm really curious now and can't wait to be there. I mean, I can't wait to be in London anyway.
Yes. Well,
so I'm
look
very
forward
pleased
to seeing you.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward as well. I'm just wondering, do you have anything else to tell us about the conference? There are no questions here.
I would like to offer your viewers a special offer for the virtual.
Wow.
So it's £120, but we can offer to your viewers for £99 if they just email me. I'll give you this later. So it's offers@tarotconference.co.uk. If they just email me with special offer in the box, I'll just send them a link to pay. So that's I'll send it to you, Kirsten. I'll email that to you.
And I put it in the show notes?
Yes, we can. We can put that in the show notes.
Is this an offer until the last day, or is there a deadline for this offer?
It'll probably be a week before because we have to get everything sorted. So I will email you with the details and the cutoff date so that we've got time to get everything together and send the links and the printouts to everybody.
That's a great offer for 99 quid, the whole 2 days. I mean, you can't participate in the social stuff around it, but as you can see, there's really a great program. So, yeah, you should really think about this out there. And anybody who's watching this later also should think about this. Thanks for the offer, Kim. That's very kind.
You're very welcome. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yes, thank you for being here. And you said it's quite hot in Britain right now.
Yeah, it's very hot. I live on the south coast as well, which is the hot part of Britain. Okay. So I'm about 60, 70 miles south of London, and I live by the beach as well. And it's about 35 degrees. I think it's really, really hot.
Wow. So you better cool down now before you start your evening.
Yes.
And if there are any more questions, just put them in the comments. We can answer your questions later. And as Kim said, we are going to put every details in the show notes if you want to get the special price. Very kind offer. Thank you again, Kim.
You're welcome.
And yes, so that's about it for today. Anything else you want to tell us?
No, I just think everybody is welcome and you won't be disappointed. And if you are, wherever your journey is in the tarot world, if you're a beginner, intermediate or advanced, you will come away with something. I promise you that, because there is just so much diversity in the learning, people's different ways of looking at tarot. You will absolutely come away with something that you will take with you through your tarot journey for the rest of your days.
Yeah, I'm very happy for these words. Thank you, Kim. And well, let's go back into our daily work. What do you think?
Yeah, sounds rotten, but yeah, it sounds good. It sounds good.
It needs to be done.
Yes.
I see you very soon. I'm really looking forward to that.
Yes, safe journey, and I'll see you in 8 weeks' time.
Yeah, 8 weeks. Wow.
8 weeks.
Okay. So everybody out there, I come back in about a week with another guest. And thanks, Kim, for being here with me. Thanks for everybody out there for watching. And see everybody soon. Bye.